What if I told you there's a hidden key inside your mind, a simple shift that could make you endure anything? Pain, fear, loneliness, rejection, all of it. But there's a catch. You might become so strong that you stop feeling altogether. Some days feel heavy. You wake up tired, not just in your body, but somewhere deeper. A quiet ache in your chest, a fog behind your eyes. You go through the motions, but something inside you feels lost. It's in moments like these that ancient wisdom becomes more than just philosophy. It becomes survival. Because long before therapy apps and self-help podcasts, there were men who sat in silence for years, who studied pain, boredom, discipline like scientists of the soul. One of them is Shi Heng Yi, modern Shaolin master, who teaches not just how to move your body, but how to reclaim your mind. He says, "The greatest prison is not made of walls. It is a mind that has forgotten its power." This video is about that power. It's not about motivation. It's not about positive thinking. It's about waking up the ancient force inside you. The one that watches pain without reacting, that feels fear but moves forward anyway. That chooses discipline over comfort, stillness over noise, silence over panic. It's about becoming something more than what you were yesterday. The prison of the modern mind. We live in a world filled with stimulation, notifications, deadlines, noise, lights, screens. Everything is designed to pull your attention outward, to scatter your focus, to drain your energy. And slowly, without even realizing it, you forget how to be still. You forget how to listen to yourself. You forget how to breathe. The modern mind is addicted to distraction, and this addiction makes us weak. Because strength, real, lasting strength, begins in silence. Shi Heng Yi says, "You are not tired because you have done too much. You are tired because you have done too little of what truly matters." This is the prison. Not work, not stress, but forgetting who you are beneath it all. So how do we escape? We don't run away. We go within. We enter the mind like a temple, not to fight, but to understand. Not to escape pain, but to witness it without fear. Because pain, when observed calmly, becomes a teacher. And fear, when faced directly, becomes fuel. Pain is not the enemy. Most people run from pain. They treat it like a virus, like something dangerous to avoid at all costs. But Shi Heng Yi teaches something radically different. Pain is a messenger. It's not here to hurt you. It's here to show you where you're not free. Sit with that for a moment. What if your pain isn't the enemy but the guide? What if every ache, every heartbreak, every failure was a signpost pointing to the parts of yourself that are still chained? You see, pain only becomes unbearable when we resist it, when we fight it, when we ask, "Why me?" But when you sit with pain, breathe through it, observe it without judgment, something begins to shift. You begin to notice pain comes in waves. And like waves, it rises, but it also falls. No storm lasts forever. But your mind must be trained to remember this. This is where inner strength begins. Not in lifting weights, not in shouting affirmations in the mirror, but in sitting quietly with discomfort and refusing to let it define you. Shi Heng, he says, If you can learn to stay calm when your mind screams at you to quit, that's when your true training begins. So, next time pain visits you, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, don't run. Invite it in. Sit beside it. Ask it what it's trying to teach you. This is how warriors are forged. Not in comfort, but in surrender. We live in a culture that glorifies movement, hustle, grind, productivity, always doing, always chasing, always proving. But there is a deeper power, one that most people overlook. The power of stillness. Stillness is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is control. Stillness is the space between stimulus and response. It's the breath you take before reacting. It's the inner calm you build when everything around you is chaos. Shi Heng Yi often says, "A storm does not destroy the mountain. The mountain remains still." Can you be that mountain? When someone disrespects you, can you remain still? When your plans fall apart, can you remain still? When your heart breaks, your strength fails, your mind doubts, can you remain still? Stillness is not a lack of feeling. It's not coldness. It's awareness. Deep, clear awareness. It allows you to observe your thoughts, not become them. To feel emotions, but not be ruled by them. The world will push you to react, but the wise man waits. Because when you're still, you can see more clearly. You can choose more wisely. You can act with precision instead of panic. And in this space, between impulse and action, you find your true power. Discipline is freedom. Most people misunderstand discipline. They see it as a burden, a punishment, something cold and rigid, a joyless routine. But those who've walked the harder path know the truth. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is liberation. Because what is freedom, really? Is it doing whatever you feel like? Sleeping in? Scrolling endlessly? Indulging every craving? No, that's not freedom. That's slavery to impulse. Real freedom is waking up and doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. Shi Heng, he says, the man who masters discipline is free from the chains of emotion. He does not ask how he feels. He decides who he will be. Discipline trains your nervous system to hold discomfort. It makes you dependable to others, but more importantly, to yourself. It silences the inner critic because action replaces doubt. When you train your body, when you master your breath, when you wake up early, move deliberately, and choose discomfort again and again, you are carving a new shape into your soul. A shape that can hold pressure. A shape that doesn't break when life gets hard. A shape that others look at and say, I want that kind of peace. Because the man with discipline doesn't chase peace. He becomes peace. And that kind of peace, earned through effort, through struggle, through sweat, is the kind of peace that no one can take away from you. Letting go of the ego. There is a voice inside your head. It wants to be right. It wants to win. It wants to be admired, respected, recognized. This voice says, I am my achievements. I am my reputation. I am what others think of me. But that voice is not you. That is the ego. And the ego is loud, fragile, and always hungry. Shi Heng Yi teaches, The ego is not who you are. It is who you think you need to be to survive. Let that sink in. The ego wears masks. It builds walls. It hides your wounds behind pride. But healing begins when the mask comes off. Strength doesn't come from pretending to be unbreakable. It comes from knowing where you've been broken and choosing to walk anyway. When you release the need to impress. When you stop chasing validation. When you choose silence over arguing, humility over pride, presence over performance. You begin to return to your essence. You are not your name, not your past, not your followers, titles, status, or pain. You are the awareness behind all of it. And when the ego fades, clarity rises, peace enters, and real strength, the kind that cannot be taken, is born. Embracing the present moment. Time, we chase it. We waste it. We fear losing it. But the truth is, you don't have time. You never did. You only have this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. Everything else is memory or imagination. Shi Heng Yi says, the past is a story. The future is unknown. But the present, the now, is all you truly possess. Yet so many of us live as ghosts, haunted by what happened yesterday, terrified of what may come tomorrow. And in doing so, we miss the miracle that is unfolding. Right now. Right now, you are alive. Right now, your heart is beating without your permission. Right now, there is air in your lungs and stillness waiting to be felt. What more do you need? The present moment is not empty. It is full of life, of clarity, of truth. But to touch it, you must slow down. You must stop running. You must pause the noise. You must listen to the silence between your thoughts. Because in that silence is where life speaks. It doesn't shout. It whispers. And it says, say, you are here. You are alive. You are enough. Stop chasing the next thing. Stop reliving the last pain. Come home to now. The man who masters the present moment is not distracted. He is powerful because he sees clearly, acts deliberately, lives deeply, becoming the inner warrior. True strength is not in muscles or weapons. It is in the quiet resolve of the spirit. The inner warrior is not loud. He does not boast or seek approval. He moves through the world with calm confidence. Shi Heng Yi teaches, a warrior is not defined by battles won, but by the peace he carries within. To become this warrior, you must first conquer the battles inside. The fears, the doubts, the endless noise of the mind. This warrior understands that pain is temporary. That struggle is the path to growth. That surrender is a form of strength. He embraces discipline without resentment. He welcomes failure without shame. He accepts himself fully and unconditionally. The inner warrior lives by principles, not emotions. He acts from purpose, not impulse. When the storm rages outside, he stands firm. Not because he is unbreakable, but because he has learned to bend without breaking. This warrior knows that the greatest battle is not against others, but within himself. And winning that battle means choosing peace over chaos, choosing love over fear, choosing presence over distraction, cultivating compassion. Strength without compassion is cruelty. Power without kindness is weakness. The true warrior understands this paradox. Shi Heng Yi teaches, compassion is the soft heart within the hard shell. It is not weakness, but the greatest strength. When life weighs heavy on your shoulders, it is natural to build walls, to shut down your feelings, to protect yourself by becoming distant. But those walls, no matter how strong, also separate you from connection from the healing power of empathy. Compassion starts with yourself. Before you can truly help others, you must learn to forgive your own mistakes, to comfort your own pain, to accept your imperfections. The man who practices self-compassion is free from the prison of self-judgment. He knows that being human means sometimes falling, sometimes failing, and in that acceptance, he finds peace. But compassion does not stop there. It flows outward. It allows you to see others not as enemies or obstacles, but as fellow travelers on a difficult journey, to listen without judgment, to love without conditions, to help without expecting anything in return. This is the power that softens hearts, heals wounds, and builds bridges where once there were walls, finding purpose in pain. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is certain. But what if pain is not the enemy? Shi Heng Yi reminds us, pain is the great teacher. It breaks us so we can be rebuilt stronger. Every wound holds a lesson. Every hardship carries meaning. The weight on your shoulders is not just a burden, it is a call to awaken. When life crushes your spirit, it forces you to look inward, to confront what you have ignored, to question who you really are. Without pain, we stay shallow. We avoid growth. We cling to comfort. But growth demands discomfort. Transformation requires struggle. Your scars are the map of your journey. Each one tells a story of survival, resilience, and courage. Shi Heng, he says, the man who finds purpose in pain turns suffering into strength and despair into hope. So when the night feels darkest, remember, you are not broken beyond repair. You are being shape-tempered like steel in fire. And on the other side of pain, there is light, purpose, meaning, peace, the power of stillness. In a world that never stops, stillness is a rebellion. Silence is a radical act. Shi Heng Yi teaches, stillness is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is where the soul gathers strength. When your mind races, when worries swarm like bees, when life feels chaotic and overwhelming, find stillness. Not by running away, not by distracting yourself, but by sitting with yourself fully present. Stillness is a mirror. It reflects your true self, untouched by noise or distraction. In stillness, you hear the whispers of your heart. You feel the pulse of your spirit. You connect with the eternal part of you, the observer beyond thought. This is where clarity is born, where wisdom emerges. Shi Heng, he says, a warrior's greatest weapon is his calm mind. Cultivating stillness is a practice. It is choosing to be present, even when the world demands your attention elsewhere. It is breathing deeply in the face of chaos. It is grounding yourself when storms rage inside and out. Stillness gives you power, not the power to control everything. In stillness, you find peace. In peace, you find strength. The journey continues. Life is not a destination. It is a journey, a continuous unfolding. Shi Heng Yi reminds us, the path to mastery is endless. Each step is both an arrival and a new beginning. You have traveled far already, through darkness and light, pain and peace, struggle and strength. But the journey never truly ends. Each day brings new challenges, new lessons, new opportunities to grow. Remember, you are not alone on this path. Every soul walking this earth carries burdens unseen. Yet the wise man walks with courage and compassion. He moves forward with an open heart and a steady mind. This journey is yours, unique and precious. Embrace it with all its imperfections, with all its twists and turns. And know this, no matter how heavy life feels, no matter how deep the night, there is always light ahead. There is always hope. There's always strength within you waiting to be awakened. So keep walking, keep breathing, keep becoming. Because the journey is life itself, and you are exactly where you need to be.